Speaking of the NCAA tournament, one more story here before we take a break. So Jack Gohlke is in the news again.
He is.
So Thursday, he smokes 10 threes against Kentucky and sends them packing. Bye-bye. Saturday, he made probably, 6 or 7 more and went into overtime with Mr. Burns and NC State, lost in the NCAA tournament. Sunday, he gets a Monday, he gets a Buffalo Wild Wings deal. Hey, I sent the game to overtime. You can check out the Buffalo Wild Wings overtime thing. Just go to this link on Twitter. Tuesday, or I guess it was probably Monday night, the story started to emerge about how Jack Gohlke wanted to keep the basketball from the game where he ripped 10 threes against Kentucky, and they said, no, thank you.
That's property of the National Collegiate Athletics Association.
Now, there's only so many of those bright orange basketballs, Josh. I know what people think about this. They're like, wow, the NCAA, they just cannot get anything right. But think about this. Josh, I am going to both sides this. I'm taking the NCAA side, actually. I understand that you want the basketball, and it's a great moment in NCAA tournament lore. And after a period of time, like, you can get a commemorative. I mean, there's so many pictures of you. You have the moment. You have all the shoes that you wore. You have the uniform that you wore. Like, you have everything you could ever want. But Jack Gohlke decided that he wanted the game ball, and he passed that along to the Oakland people. And to that, the NCAA said, no. You have so many people and teams that are operating in that arena, in that building. There's only 2 racks of basketballs. There's probably 1 extra rack. That's all. And there's everything is laid out. Every basketball has its own plan, right? This is on this rack. It's used during this time, and it's used by this group of people. I'm okay with the NCAA not giving them the ball. I'm fine with it. I don't think it's a weird. I don't think this is an example of of us having to go to the NCAA and be like, well, there goes the NCAA. Greed. They're at it again. They can't just give the kid the ball. Like, no, that's an odd precedent. Then every March hero we could ever have, he gets a basketball for it that they played within the game, and then all of a sudden by the end of the weekend you're out of basketballs. No.
I'd like to read from a website, my rebuttal.
Go for it.
Basically, March Madness is the NCAA's bread and butter. In 2022-2023, college athletics governing body earned $1.28 billion in revenue. I'm on Dick's Sporting Goods website, and a basketball costs $100.
Oh, Josh, but you only have so many basketballs, right? You only have so many.
Yeah, and you should give them to the children.
But then what happens if one guy makes one shot, and he's like, I want the basketball?
There's no.
So what's the precedent? What's the borderline?
Tell Oakland, hey, we're going to take this to a board of review, and then, yes, give the kid a basketball. So that way, when one kid who's like, hey, I was a bench player for Drake, and we went one and done in the tournament, but I made a shot.
He's not allowed to?
No, absolutely not.
So then we're putting accomplishments up against other accomplishments.
Yes. That's what sports is.
I'm Team NCAA. No basketball for Jack Gohlke. He already has all of the memories, all of the pictures, all the TV time, all the NIL deals. He himself, I know the NCAA is worth $2 billion, but he himself is profiting massively off of his run in the NCAA tournament. Josh, can't the NCAA... This is a bad precedent to set, by the way. Can't the NCAA make the argument that he is actually... His profile is enhanced and he is profiting off of the NCAA, and that the NCAA should take him to court and say, how can you do this? You are making money off of the March Madness name.
That's right, Connor. He's the NCAA's property. That's right, Connor. Let's set that precedent. Good thing Jack Gohlke's white.
That is a good thing. I wouldn't have made that argument probably. Bayamon writes in on YouTube.
Bayamon.
Connor Happer hates student athletes. Got it. No, I love student athletes. I love Jack Gohlke. I just don't think he needs a basketball. He's got plenty of basketballs.
In 3 years.
Why are we making a big deal about him and not having the basketball?
In 3 years, when he's a dentist, he could have that ball up on the shelf in his office.
Instead, he'll just have a gigantic picture of him. That's better.
Yeah, what's a picture?
There is me. I smoked 10 threes against Kentucky on national television. Would you like to watch it? I have it queued up on YouTube.
All the time. I got John Calipari fired.
Yeah.
Little old me.
You don't need no basketball, Jack Gohlke. That's okay. You got your chicken wings.